How's it going, viewers? Blue Monsoon here. Now, of course, the Battlefield Hardline beta is still out, so I'm going to do videos on it. And this week I have something that I'm actually pretty excited to do for you guys. This weapon I have here is called an Mp40. Now, first of all, you might notice some similarities to the Mp40, at least I did when I first started using it, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But first of all, I wanted to get into the statistics and sort of the overall feel of this weapon. So the first thing you notice is it has an extremely long time to kill. It's not the worst I've ever seen, but it is pretty bad. This gun has good accuracy, don't get me wrong. I mean, you can see here I'm able to pick off good targets at not a considerable range, but at a good distance. That's usually the range you would expect an SMG to just about reach. And honestly, this weapon is best at sort of long close range. That sounds weird to say long close range, because how can that make sense? If you imagine it as there's close, which is like dead close. You know, absolutely no distance between both. There's close medium, which is a little bit further away, and then close long, which is further away. Close medium is the sort of just say close range. The gun works, like I said, works best at close medium to close long. You definitely don't want to use it anything above that. Now, the one big problem with this weapon is it has 600 rounds per minute of rate of fire. That's extremely low for a SMG, let alone any gun. Now, if you imagine the MP5K, the gun you get for all for both criminals and cops right at the start of the game, the other SMG you get, that gun does 850 rounds per minute, so considerably more, 250 rounds more. But two redeeming factors of this weapon are the fact that it has, first of all, 36 round magazine. Now that's pretty good for an SMG. Usually they have smaller magazines. 36 would be good on an assault rifle as well, so having that for an SMG, that is good at dealing out damage, if not slowly, and sometimes inefficiently. You know, it can easily get shot out by this weapon. Also, the hip fire is quite good for seeing as what the gun can do. The one problem is it's all for one-on-one. If I come around the corner, see a target, at the same time he sees me, I've pretty much lost. Again, I have seen worse weapons for one-on-one, but this is honestly one of the worst weapons I have seen for it. A lot of the time I work best by flanking. You can see here I managed to flank around these guys with a good accuracy and a steady rate of fire. I was easily able to put enough rounds into them so that they die, but not too much so that I run out of ammo. I wouldn't use this weapon as head-on. If you're the type of player who goes straight at the enemy and just charges headlong at them, this is not your weapon. If you're the kind of person who tactically thinks and maybe plans around, and you know, thinks maybe I can get behind these guys and get a good kill, this is probably more likely your kind of weapon. Now, for those that I found best to use, I had a Cobra red dot sight. Honestly, it's just personal preference. There are a lot of different sights in Battlefield Hardline. The Cobra's always been a personal favourite ever since Battlefield 3, so I stuck with it. I will probably try more. This sight I have here, I quite like. It's a good, easy to use sight that actually works pretty effectively. I had nothing for an accessory, I just didn't find anything worthwhile, and I had a suppressor. Now, the suppressor was actually very helpful because, as I was saying, this weapon is very good at flanking, so by being good at flanking, it helped me go around the enemy, shoot people without being noticed on the minimap. Now, when I first picked up this weapon, when I first saw it, the one thing I instantly thought was Mp40. Now, you guys might not have heard of this weapon. If you haven't, I will be extremely surprised, because it is an incredibly iconic weapon. It was developed during World War II by the Nazis and by the German army, and it was designed because of Hitler said he wanted a SMG, but with assault rifle capabilities, something that worked well, had a good ergonomic build, and was sort of a hybrid of an SMG assault rifle. And that was perfect because that was the Mp40, which had already been made at that time. Now, the first thing you notice about this weapon is the fact that it's very thin and quite long. The Mp40 here very much has this design. The other thing that looks weird about the Mp40 is the fact it looks like a big long barrel, then with the magazine stuck on it and a pistol grip. It basically seems like it's a stock gun made from just scrap materials, which the first design probably was, and they just stuck with that design. I think the Mp40 is a really cool weapon to use, and it's not just the look of this weapon that maybe hints that it's an Mp40. The reload is very similar to how you usually see an Mp40 reload. The rate of fire is typical of an Mp40, which is very slow. And even then, you know, certain things like the way the gun handles. I've heard a lot of time that the Mp40 is a very low recoil gun. There isn't really too much of a kick to it. It is very easy to handle and very effective, very similar to this gun. But overall, this weapon doesn't really work in Battlefield, despite the fact that the MP40 was one of the most powerful weapons during World War II. This weapon does not work in Battlefield. Although, like I said, if you do play tactically and you flank around and try to look for alternative routes, you probably can do quite well, but it is no way smart to go one-on-one with any type of weapon, albeit aside from a sniper rifle. Now, before this video ends, I want to talk to you guys quickly about a video I have planned. I know the series, you guys know the series Challenge Field I do every Monday, and I'm planning to sort of step it up a notch. Not too much, but I might start doing some face logs, so you might see this sexy face around soon. But that is for a whole different video. Now, quick thing, if you guys want to see any certain weapons in the Battlefield Hardline beta, be sure to leave them down in the comments. Also, like I said, if you want any questions to be answered about Battlefield Hardline, stuff you can improve on, stuff that makes you better at the game, if you want to ask anything about that, leave it down in the comments as well. So now, hopefully you guys enjoy the video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. This is Boom Monsoon, out.